Welcome to I Said No Gifts. I'm Bridger Winegar. What's going on? I started the day in a bad mood. I went to bed in a bad mood. I tried watching this thing called The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, I don't know, which I thought was just going to be thrilling and exciting, trashy documentary. Documentaries may be generous. And then it was so horribly made that I had to stop watching it, and I never learned whether or not this couple accidentally adopted an evil 30-year-old. And so now I'm not even going to look into it. I guess I just have to, hopefully someone will just mention to me what actually happened. But it was a real piece of crap, and it set me off. So I hate to start the podcast in this way, and now I'm thinking about how the photo app is still horrible on the iPhone. What's happening there? They haven't changed it. It's universally hated, and they're just making us stick with it. I don't try to start this with so much complaining, but Natalie Grace set me off. I'm sorry. Let's get into the show. Maybe that will help things. I adore today's guest. It's Mary Lynn Rajskub. Mary Lynn.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to I Said No Gifts.
You said my last name correctly.
Your last name is so interesting. It's like, if you weren't aware of how to pronounce it beforehand, it would be a nightmare to get into. But once you know, it's just two words.
I kind of like that. It's like, why don't you know? How about you
look into it
and then talk to me, and don't talk to me until then. Don't come up to me with a reg.
Yeah, what do you get?
I'm done with that. We're done with that. Don't try. Don't give up.
Don't give up. I think I'll be a guest on podcasts occasionally, and it's just like, certainly just look into it for 30 seconds. You'll know how to pronounce my last name. You have the internet.
Winegar.
Wow.
I've heard you say that. I did a little, had to spruce up.
Well, I have people in my life who still say Winegar, Winegar, close friends.
I got scared as it was coming out of my mouth.
It was beautiful. It's the last guess for the pronunciation of my name, which is...
Oh, really?
I guess Winegar makes sense. Yes. Winegar makes sense. But it has that little speed bump in the middle, Winegar. And...
Wow, yours is almost harder than mine in a way. I suddenly have compassion for what seems like a simpler name, but somehow is more complicated. There's 3 reasonable ways to say it.
But I feel like with your name, once you've heard it once, you get it.
Yes, but I have seen people, a lot of hosts, I'll see them panic, and I just go, just whatever comes out of your mouth, that's fine. Because the panic's not going to help you. No. We all know that. But once you panic, it goes too far.
Right.
And then I appreciate those people even more because they're trying. How about a show with a host that doesn't think the host is important? So I love people that want to say the name, and then I go, hey, don't just. It's fine. But yeah, I have to give the mnemonic a rice and a cub, and then it's done. But if you get locked in your brain in a certain way and you're not listening,
and you're just imagining that word in your head, those letters,
which is understandable.
What do you get most often?
A give up, or or adding a syllable.
Oh, sure. Did you get telemarketers
or sometimes people will confidently go, is that, Swedish? And the J is like an I. I'm like, just slow down.
Okay.
I don't even believe that the way that it's pronounced is correct.
Like the actual origin.
Yes.
I wonder what.
So I don't, who knows?
That's probably the same with me.
Right. At the beginning of it, there was an E added, or someone said it with 3 syllables, and that's how it stuck.
It probably was a VIN, I'm sure whatever country it came from, the W was a V.
Right. And then maybe the middle was more smushed together.
Yeah. It's probably originally pronounced Smith. No, I think living with my entire mess of a name has made me I'm not sensitive, I'm not precious at all, because it's been butchered my entire life, first and last name. So when people get kind of sensitive about their names, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Your name is very literary, isn't it?
I guess it's a name you don't see very often.
Yes.
2 names you don't see at all.
Yes.
Although the thing with Bridger is it's just kind of the male masculine version of Bridget, but people cannot conceptualize, they cannot handle Bridger for some reason, despite Bridget being like the most common, although I don't know many Bridgets.
I don't know one Bridget.
Bridget. I know of Bridgets.
It's a great name.
It is a good name.
There should be more Bridgers. I'm glad there's not, because there's only one you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other Bridgers that I am aware. I mean, there are, like, we're having a Bridger moment in kind of the zeitgeist because there's Bridgerton.
Right.
Phoebe Bridgers.
Right.
Oh, and there's this new show called, I can't remember the name of the show, but they're going to Fort Bridger, or they're trying to. I watched about 10 minutes of the show so far.
Is that
That's a place
like a Western?
No. Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Okay.
there's a place in Wyoming called Fort Bridger, maybe. Maybe in Utah. I don't know. How are you?
Pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic. I mean, I'd like to complain too, just because it's fun.
Sure.
But if I go beyond the complaining, I realize my life is great. You know what I want to complain about? Having a rush. I'm to the point in my life where, I mean, we all are to a certain extent, just because of the circumstances of the world, where we're having to cut things out and conserve energy so that we don't lose our GD minds. We're having to consolidate, check in with our person so that we don't completely lose it. But I'm also of an age and a point in my life where I just, don't rush me, you know?
Who's rushing you?
Just life. That's a great question. Thank you for that.
We all need to know
it reminds
who's
me
rushing
of
us.
my world lit teacher showing up on the first day going, we've got a lot to get through. It's like, who's got a lot
First
to get through? Would you stop? I don't know if we're going to make it. You're in control.
Yeah, you
of
could have
the
stopped us from the
material.
beginning.
Why am I stressed before I even started? Which, by the way, I might have some sort of learning disability. I could not read. Everything I read in World Lit, each word seemed important to me, and I couldn't get through. While others were discussing themes and topics, I was like, "What about the?" I can't even come up with an example. It's such a buried memory.
Do you feel like you're a slow reader in general?
I'm not a slow reader. I think I can pinpoint when this happened. Maybe this is the answer to who's rushing me. I've just uncovered it. When I was in 7th grade, they had this microfiche machine to test your speed of reading. And I had just had a hair gel incident that morning where I tried to do something and it didn't work, and I had to leave the house, and I was already too damaged about it. I wasn't about to put my head under the sink, so I had to go with what happened. So I wore a hoodie, and then they made me take down the hoodie.
Reveal the crust.
I revealed the crust. They forced me to reveal the crust, and I went in the microfiche, and it was to test the speed of your reading. And they gave you the rules, which I can't listen, you know. But I think part of the rules were, somewhere in there it was, make sure you digest. Like they warn you against, and I just did what they told you not to do, which is, I gotta get through this really fast. And to this day, I think I love to read things, but then at the end I'll go, what happened? And even lately, I think I need to test myself on what I've read. Otherwise, what's the point?
I would love for books to come with little quizzes, or for there probably is an app that you can, like, after every chapter quiz yourself or whatever.
Oh, after every chapter.
Because I'll get through a thing and I'll be like, I might be able to remember a character name.
Okay,
I don't know what they've gone through. My reading
Yes.
comprehension is absolutely destroyed.
And then you go and have your day, and when you come back to the book, which you think, oh, I'm gonna, and then I'm like, I don't remember what was happening.
No, what I've started doing just in the last couple of months is, when I'm done with the chapter, I just try as hard as possible to remember everything that happened. I say, what What did I just read?
I'm so excited I brought this up. This is real.
I think it's a real problem. I think probably because our attention spans have really been decimated. But I still want to read, but I also want to read a lot. And so that all comes together to me spending time looking at words and none of them entering my brain.
Yes.
And so I'm trying to get better at that. But then recently, like at the end of the year, there were all these people on TikTok that were like, end of the year list. I read 2,400 books this year.
I know.
What are you talking about?
I know.
No.
Stop it.
It's just the amount of books these people are reading.
I'm completely unlikable.
I have no relationships.
It has
My health
made
is
me
failing.
a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I feel like I'm lucky if I read 2 books a month. And I'm reading pretty regularly, but I'm trying to slow down and actually make it count and actually get something out of it. Otherwise, what's the point?
I love that. Are you doing fiction or?
Mostly fiction.
Okay.
Although nonfiction I find more and more is easier to get through.
Oh.
I don't know why. I guess because I
Seems like it would be harder to get through.
I think I can convince myself that I'm learning. And so I'm like, this is helpful to me. And of course, the subjects I'm reading about are not useful in ordinary life at all.
So the things you're maybe more emotionally involved in, or is that a leap?
Yeah, that might be. It's a great question. And now I'm trying to think of the last piece of nonfiction I read, and I couldn't. What are you reading? Fiction, nonfiction?
The Secret. You read The Secret. Is that your last?
So it turns out I'm only ever reading The Secret. I'm listening to it on audiobook.
Yeah, just trying to get it in there.
I'm visualizing. I'm trying to get the life I want.
When will I get the red bike in the window? Turns out you never really wanted the red bike. You were negating the red bike as you were saying yes to the red bike.
Are you more of a fiction or nonfiction person?
I honestly am not a big reader.
Not a big reader.
I aspire to be a big reader. And I have a friend, comic Michelle Billoon.
Oh, sure.
We became friends sort of recently, and we have a vigorous voice memo. And early in the voice memos, we decided we were going to start reading. So that's been really fun.
Right.
And we did one whole book together so far.
What book?
I already forgot. Catherine. It's about a girl who was in a forest, and there's sisters in the Northwest. One of them is a beauty queen, and one of them is a shamed child psychologist.
I hope I haven't read this because it'll be so mortifying that I don't remember any of these details.
We're about to read another one of her books, and I'm not remembering this. This is my brain, and I'm not remembering the author's name right this second.
Isn't that a terrifying feeling?
It really is. I hate it so much.
I wonder if, it feels terrible.
It feels terrible.
Catherine. I can't think of a single.
She's a very popular, prolific, often historical.
And she doesn't go by Kathy?
No, definitely not Kathy. And it might not even be Catherine at this point. I can't. It's not in my brain today. Oh, not today. Not today. I won't have that information. Oh, I'll bring up the book, but I won't hold the information.
But I'm sure there are countless listeners right now that are all so mad at both of us for not knowing whatever book this is.
Yeah. And it was a really good book, and I really enjoyed reading it with her, and we would get to like, oh, did you start it? Or I'm 3 ahead of you, or I'm 3 chapters behind you. It was very fun. We're going to read another one of her books. In between, this is embarrassing. I don't even know. She might be mad if I reveal that we read this. We read...
Is it Magic Hour by Kristen Hanna?
Yeah, Kristen.
Wow.
I was remembering a K and an H. Yeah, that was awesome.
Magic Hour,
How did
Kristen
you
Hanna.
Do that?
I know, you gave very little information.
Very little information. I was giving plot information.
To almost any book. It's about a girl. Kristen Hanna, Magic Hour.
Yeah.
And then what was but Annalise saved you from saying an embarrassing book you read.
It Ends With Us.
It Ends With, which became the movie, which became the controversy.
somehow I had read the book, and I don't know why it makes me want to cry right now, because I thought I was done with it. I saw it on the shelf just this morning, and I went, ugh. Because we spent a couple of months dialoguing about it after I had read it and then watched it. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to watch it too. And we, and then of course we get all the like stories about the lawsuit.
Oh, the lawsuits
that
galore.
Was in the conversation. And yeah, it got to the point where we both were like, I don't want to talk about this ever again. But yet we continued to talk about it for a few more conversations. So yeah, that's not high on my reading list, but that's how we're doing it. We're leading with our feelings.
It's it's extremely popular, the book.
It's extremely
Giant
popular.
seller.
And
not that means anything.
I watched the movie and then I read the book because I was curious how it
Which was
played
worse?
out. They were very similar to me. I don't want to say the book is worse because I know I don't want to disparage the author. I guess I already have. I appreciate anyone who can execute a book. I'm excited based on personal experience. There's just something, because there's gender roles and we were mentioning how every time they have sex, she seems to say, inside. That's the main character is going, it's inside of me. Inside of me. And it just plays out like a stereotypical straight couple fantasy, and then he's a neurosurgeon, and it's just like but to not disparage it, and I think this is part of what hooks me in and why I was interested in it, is there is a really thoughtful expression of how you can be locked into someone and then how it can become physically abusive. And I think that, aside from my critical critique of it, which is I'm the asshole in that, I realize that, but there is that part of it where it's very thoughtful, and when you're watching it, you're going, ugh. It does bring you into that behavior that can make someone have power over someone, and what our expectations are, and what we're owed, and why we're intertwined with somebody. And I think that's the parts that I liked about it. And then the other parts I was, kind of hate liking it. Right.
So all I know, and this actually might not even be true, she works in a flower shop. Is that true?
That's what you got from and everything you've seen online? That's fair.
This is my exposure to this, is reading about lawsuits. Yes. And then the
wear florals at the premiere, that piece of business.
Not even that, actually. I'm remembering the standee or whatever they had at the AMC, where you could get your photo taken in what seemed to be a flower shop. But then I knew there was some element of physical abuse, and I was like, why are we getting our picture taken in the flower shop for this movie about domestic violence?
That's a whole other layer to this mess. I mean, I was kind of talking about the work, and then you throw on the press angle of how they were planning on selling it, and
it's very odd.
Very odd.
Yep. But
so yeah, the main character, that's her dream, and she
doesn't even do that.
There's another thing in the book, and I was like, she hates herself and she hates her readers. There's a thing in the book where she's starting, but let's do flowers different. Instead of making them alive, let's make them dead.
Oh.
But she doesn't make them dead, but she makes them different. There's a display where, and it's a steampunk flower. I can't. It's a steampunk. Gonna put rivets on the stems
goggles.
And dip a white rose into black.
A dozen roses in a top hat or something. This is horrible. This is too many things going on in one book.
Too many things.
Pick one or a couple of those.
I can't go on.
Does she do entirely steampunk flowers?
I think so.
That can't be true.
I hate it so much.
How do you write a book about steampunk flowers and that's not the biggest problem happening?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Wow. And now this author has a lot of successful books, right? She's kind of like the top of the heap right now.
Yeah, she's great. And
good for her.
And then also, I mean, now that I really want to get off this, there's something that feels bad about it. But now that we're in here, the main character also writes to Ellen DeGeneres.
What?
In her journal.
Oh, wait. Oh.
I don't know. For some reason, this is very cathartic and cringy for me to talk about.
Wait, what? Why did she write to Ellen? This is now starting. I'm now starting to feel some sort of pity for this character, and I don't know anything about any of it. But
taking me somewhere.
She loves Ellen.
Oh, she loves Ellen,
but she doesn't know about Ellen.
Oh, my eyeliner's coming off. The main character in the book, her father was abusive.
Okay. And this is why it's so hard. I mean, these are real issues.
These are real issues. And she writes about that well. It's just the combination of that with the steampunk and the, I guess it's just like an aesthetic taste thing. But so she tries to, get her escape is to write to Ellen because it was... Maybe the book is set at the beginning of Ellen talk show. Okay. And at some point, the main character is like, Ellen, I fast forward through your dancing, which is pretty amazing. But but so yeah, that's her refuge, is to imagine that she's sharing all of her deepest things that she's going through with Ellen.
Which is heartbreaking in a way, but then also shocking, especially considering where we stand in Ellen history currently. Yeah.
So it's a piece of cultural.
Now I want to read this.
Right?
I mean, I guess
I'll give you my copy. I'll discuss it with you all over again.
Does the Ellen thing play into the movie?
No, that's what I was just going to say. That part did not make it into the movie.
Did she write to a fictional talk show host or anything, or they just don't do that at all?
No, they don't do that at all.
Interesting. I would be mad if I went to the movie and she wasn't writing to Ellen.
Yeah, and I think, the author, Colleen Hoover, I remembered her name.
There we go.
I didn't remember Kristen Hanna, did I? I'm back in the book mode, guys. I haven't picked up a book in a few days. Because I was, of course, the onslaught about the lawsuits and stuff. You got to click on some of that stuff. And Colleen just stays out of it.
Oh, she doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
And I think similarly with, she made a statement of like, that's theirs.
Right, this is their problem.
To do what they want with it. And across the board with the story and the problems with it. And which is smart. She's like, I'm a badass author.
She has nothing to do with that. She's right. She's on to her next book.
That's right.
Somebody's writing to
I think I'm okay
Kelly
now,
Clarkson.
That really took me somewhere.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, this whole thing. And now I can't even remember who's involved in the lawsuit. It's what's her name and the horrible director.
What's his name? Yeah. What's her name and what's his name? Jason Baldoni and
Baldoni and
Blake Lively.
There.
How do we end up talking about this of all things? This is what happens, when you're open to anything. Sometimes
when anything goes.
When anything goes.
And that's kind of the rule of this podcast. We push limits, we push it to the edge, and we remember celebrity names.
And then we hop off the edge and bang our heads on the bottom of the pool.
This is another app I wouldn't mind, is having a thing that just shows you a celebrity picture and you have to remember their name. That feels like a good thing for me, for my brain. Like just a nice, wake up every morning and try to remember things.
That'd be a fun board game, like that memory game you play when you're little.
Oh, but with only celebrities. Mm-hmm. I guess there'd probably be some copyright issues or what have you. Maybe it could be kind of an off-brand or black market.
One,
I guess you could make that at home. Print out pictures of celebrities.
You can make that at home. You should make that at home and have a dinner party, can you? And invite me over, and I won't know anyone's name. I won't know who anyone is.
That actually, Us Magazine, Guess Who, combined forces. It's called Guess Us. And it's celebrities.
You did it.
Oh my God!
We did it. I'm a part of this.
We're in on this.
You did it.
This is a nice little side business for us.
We're ready to go. Let's run with this. Annalise, get him on the horn. Copyright, whatever.
Do you play Connections?
What is that?
This is the New York Times game. I played this every morning.
Oh, no, but I know people who
Fantastic game. This does make me feel a little better about my brain.
It's not the crossword.
No, this one, it's like...
Okay, maybe I don't know what this is.
Like there are 4 categories, and then they're like maybe 16 words, I think, and you have to decide which words go with into which category.
I'm into that.
It's wonderful.
It's less taxing than a crossword puzzle.
Yes,
sounds
like. It takes less time and actually, in some ways, makes you feel a little bit more clever than a crossword puzzle. For some reason.
More clever than Wordle, certainly.
Oh, I don't do Wordle at all.
We got to slow down. Don't get like it's.
Wordle to me is essentially like playing the lottery or something.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of guessing.
Octane and then not a lot of satisfaction.
Right, exactly. Congratulations, you were able to guess.
Yeah, and now I feel dirty.
Yeah,
just like
disgusting.
I do describing this book.
I need a
for
shower.
multiple reasons. None having to do with the caliber of the...
Yeah, I was off Wordle pretty
author.
quickly. I don't know if it was because I was just frustrated, but I just felt like it was dumb. It kind of felt to me like almost like a word search.
Yes,
where it's
it
just
does.
like, this is...
I think there are people who are still into it. I spent a good deal of time. I think there was a moment where I was even telling other people, you got to play this.
Of course. It took us all by storm.
It took us by storm.
But Connections, I think, is playing the long game. I think it's going to be the one that stands the test of time.
I'm going to get in there.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, well, speaking of things that make us feel dirty and horrible, there's probably something else I should bring up. I don't know that I even want to, but Mary Lynn, I was excited to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I thought we would have a good time.
Yeah.
Talk about whatever we wanted and move on with our days.
Yes.
The podcast is called I Said No Gifts.
Yes.
So I'll just say I was floored when you burst into the studio.
Yeah.
You've, by your own admission, received about 1,000 emails about this podcast, and I'm sure one of them had the title, I Said No Gifts.
I mean, everybody wants a gift. You're just, when you say that, you're just saying that.
You're painting me to be a very materialistic person right now.
You're telling me you don't want the gift I brought for you?
I'm not saying one thing or another.
I'm catching you in your own game.
I will not be caught. I will leave the studio before being caught.
Okay, you know what? I'm a guest here, and you're right. It said no gifts, and I defied it. Okay, there. You're right. I did. I went against everything that you think you want, everything you're taking a stand for. And I'm sneaking in the back door, and I'm saying, wouldn't you like to open a little gift? Wouldn't that make you feel better?
Well, maybe then should we open it here on the podcast?
Oh, I would love that so much. I'm going to get the gift, okay?
Okay, great.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's right here.
I was like, where are you at?
Go down fake stairs.
I hear you drive away.
Okay, first of all, clearly this is a notebook. I got one for each of us.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, I'm excited to see where this heads.
So we can write everything we thought about this podcast.
Oh, great. A nice review. Okay, so it's in this brown paper bag. And so should I take out the notebook first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
just take the notebook out.
the notebook.
We all have a notebook.
We each have a 70
We have matching
sheet
notebooks.
college ruled notebook.
Oh, does that feel good?
Kind of a bright blue color. And now should I take this out?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll pull this. Ooh,
There's
I'm excited about this already. It's a pair of white socks that I would describe as a mid-calf. Is that what this is? It's not.
That's the thing that's exciting. They're not short and they're not long. And they're from the liquor store.
Yeah, I was going to say. Why is the liquor? Should I keep going here or should we talk about this first? Let's talk about
dealer's
socks.
choice. Let's talk about it.
This is, I would say, just upon looking at them immediately, is probably the least flattering sock you can wear.
I know.
Would you say?
I agree.
Because it doesn't cover it. Like, maybe I should put one on right now.
That'd be great. That'd be terrific. They're almost the right length to be a calvesies.
Right.
It's the style of sock I have on right now. But yeah, they're like no brand.
Yours feels a little longer to me. I'll also say that they're white socks, but also are almost gray.
That's exciting. It's like a high. Does that one look dirty?
Or maybe it's the lighting. I mean, the majority of the sock is meant for the foot, rather than the leg. Like that foot to leg ratio is shocking.
The texture looks like maybe a sink scrubber.
Oh, this is actually worse than I imagined.
I thought it was better. Your foot fits in there perfectly. Wait, why is it worse?
The foot goes in, but where?
Oh,
what does this say about my leg?
The length is bad.
What do you do leg-wise with this? Like,
but don't gloss over the foot. You said it was so big, but now look at it.
It fits my foot perfectly. This is a Cinderella situation.
Now, what if you just scrunch the top down and make it like a footy with bonus?
Oh, interesting.
A footy with an extra. Yeah, that's a terrible. It's a terrible length of sock.
I'll put on my shoe and we'll see how that looks.
But I think maybe the scrunch down is the way to go to act like it's deliberate.
If I were in shorts, what would we think of me right now?
I'm not gonna lie. That's cute. That's cute as hell.
This feels like if I were wearing like a slightly below knee skirt.
Which is what I'm doing right now.
Right, this feels like
Look, I'm just making you dress like me.
I pull out a skirt next. Denim jacket.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I wonder what... Annalise, do we have any idea of what type of sock this is called?
Crew sock.
This is a crew sock?
That's my guess.
I've always assumed a crew sock was one of the ones that goes onto your calf.
No, I see what you're saying. You're completely throwing that sock under the bus, and you're doing it in a reverse way by trying to uplift it and say, what kind of sock is this? When you know damn well it's a poorly made crew sock.
Looks like a crew sock to me.
It's a crew sock.
You're trying to invent a different style of sock.
So what's the calf sock? What do we call that?
That is a crew sock. This is a bastardized version.
It's just like a shorty.
Right? Do you agree?
I guess. So then there's like the one that goes up to your knee. That's a knee sock. Okay.
Oh, that's a sweat sock.
Sweat sock. But isn't there also
like
such thing as a knee sock?
Oh, a knee sock is what girls wear with their school uniforms and their Mary Janes. A sweat sock, same length, but made out of thicker material is what basketball players in the 70s wear.
Right, with the stripe around.
Yeah.
That's a classic sock.
That's a classic.
That's timeless.
And there's different versions of that. They're not all sweat socks are the same length. So maybe we just call this a sweat sock.
This is a sweat
sock. More of a
Interesting.
Crew. It's trying to be a crew.
Okay, so I actually think that what you have in your possession is called a micro crew.
Oh, a micro crew.
I found a whole, yeah.
Oh, sexy.
You were right to give the dignity to the sock because there is a sock category called a micro crew.
That feels new. I don't think we were calling this a micro crew in the 80s.
She didn't want the sock to feel bad.
Annalise is always thinking about the sock. Micro crew. Interesting. But micro crew...
Wait, so then does that mean that the crew sock is supposed to go up the calf? Do you have a picture of a crew sock over there?
I feel like this is a crew sock right here.
Okay.
Let me put this back on. The sock I came into the studio is a gray crew. I think
I'm into the crew sock. For many a year, I wore footies because that was what was available in my hastily shopping at Target. Now I go out of my way to get what the crew is, I'm going to say is the best kind of sock.
Now we're looking, we have a whole...
Oh, wow.
We're looking at...
There's 8 or 9 different...
All of the types of socks. And, okay, socks by height.
Here we go.
We have the no-show hidden.
Oh, get out of there.
Now I'll wear a no-show hidden to the gym.
Sock thing.
Then hit the no-show. And so the no-show is different than the no-show hidden, interestingly.
Okay.
Which doesn't make a ton of sense.
So no-show, it's like it doesn't really not show.
Yeah,
no
it's just a bad sock.
Yeah.
Which is also, I believe, an ankle sock. I think that's more of an ankle sock.
Well, look at the next one.
Oh, then we've got the quarter.
Which is like a little bit over the ankle, which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah, if you're feeling
because
modest.
You're right. The second one is more of a true ankle sock.
Right. Then we get to our micro
crew, our hero.
Then the crew, which
our liquor store sock is the micro crew.
I actually think I'm in a boot sock.
You're in a GD boot sock.
That's because
wow, they're so subtle, the differences.
I know. This feels unnecessary. Boot sock, mid calf.
And also, this is it's not really. I'd love to see this, but then with just all the examples in the world.
Oh, right.
Like the 70s sock we're talking about.
Yes, there are a bunch of other socks that could be on this diagram.
Yes.
Thigh highs.
Yeah.
Is that a sock? That's more of a boot.
I agree with you.
I'd like a thigh-high sock. Mm-hmm. Just a white thigh-high.
Up to the crotch. Crotch sock. All the way up to the...
to the shoulder.
To the shoulder.
Okay, tell me why you brought these socks.
Well, I was going to the liquor store to get another item that's in that bag, which isn't meant to be in the bag. And I saw them and they looked cozy and nice. Like a nice thing to touch.
It is a nice, soft, and this is a good bed sock.
You're gonna wear those.
Oh, absolutely.
They're cozy.
I'm always in need of new socks. We all do.
And that's a good feeling when you go into a store that you don't expect will have anything, and then they're there. And they just spoke to me.
A liquor store with socks. That's incredible.
They had underwear too.
Do they have a full clothing section?
No.
No,
socks and underwear.
Socks and underwear. So that's for somebody whose life is a mess.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
And they're...
That's not you.
Yet.
That's not you. When I picked that out for you, it's a luxury sock. That's how I thought of it. I go into the liquor store and I think, I didn't expect to see this here.
This is a spoil.
But it could very well, for someone who is in need, it functions in an, oh, thank God that's here.
Right. Oh, my socks.
And they were like $5, which I also thought was a
bargain.
Great price.
Socks have gotten very expensive.
Because that's like 3 pairs of socks.
This is
there.
At least 3 pairs, right?
Yeah.
And they can just immediately go into my wardrobe. Mm-hmm. I've started doing more of a neutral sock.
Oh, this is great.
I love a neutral sock.
This is great news.
I was wearing kind of more, ones with designs for a long time, and I haven't sworn them off.
Right.
But a nice gray or white sock.
For 2025.
For 2025.
Going into the neutral sock zone.
Yes, we need to have a nice neutral palette.
I'm into it. I'm into it.
Are you much of a sock person? Do you care?
I don't even want to get into it. I don't care, but I do care.
I feel like you've got style.
Thank you. I'd like to have style. I'm forever throwing things away and starting over and then not knowing and then not committing.
Right, to a particular look or
yeah.
what have you.
So then right now I'm just doing the white crew sock.
I think you're right on brand.
I'm into it.
It's 2025. I've just declared, you've just declared neutral sock.
Yeah, I don't think I can commit to... I do have some striped socks and some socks with things on them, but
when you have that, then it has to really be part of a particular look.
That's right.
You can't just throw that on with anything.
No. But I do, I will say I tend to wear the same pair of black sweatpants every single day. A fun sock will jazz it up.
That's true.
So
take the neutral.
I would go the opposite. Instead of having a whole outfit go with it, I will have a bland outfit.
And something to look at.
And that is also like I've started getting my nails done.
Oh, I like that color.
On my eyeliners, on my fingers. Thank you so much. Because it also makes me seem like I'm wearing an outfit.
Right.
When I'm not.
It feels like a choice that you don't even have to make that choice.
Yeah, it makes
every
something
day.
Fancy. Like I'm dressed in shitty clothes and then it's like, wait a minute.
She's got class.
Did you see that?
She buys socks at liquor stores.
Yeah.
What color is that?
Looks like a Barbie pink, bubblegum pink.
Yeah, it's very bubblegum. I like it. Okay, should I get back in here?
Yeah, let's get back in there. I'm really excited about the gifts.
Oh, I'm thrilled. A nice trail mix. A Simply Classic that's...
Yeah, I couldn't eat it anymore.
It has absolutely been open, so I can just dive in right now.
Absolutely has been open.
I love a good trail mix. Do you want some?
No, because I've had too much over the past 3-4 days. And I like to think my son was going to get in there, but he didn't. I ate all the rest of that bag myself, so it's time for you to do the rest of the work for me, please. Kroger brand, and it's great.
It's very good.
It's not too salty. It's got a good casual almond ratio. Mm-hmm. Gonna get you an M&M in there.
I mean,
too many raisins, of course, which is
2 raisins,
the filler of trail mix. Of course, you got to expect they're gonna put too many. It's too easy.
It's the easiest thing
to throw the raisins in there. But I'm excited for you to eat the rest of this bag, and I'm thrilled that you tried it right away.
I had to.
Yes.
The nice thing about a trail mix is it's a good way to get your raisins in.
I've always said, gotta get more raisins in. That's fiber, right?
It's fiber, and by putting that little bit of salt on it, it makes them much more tolerable.
Could you imagine your parent being the one, moms, only moms pack lunches, let's be real, that puts the pack of raisins in there?
Oh.
I was that mom for a moment.
You put raisins in.
But I'm not that mom. But one day I was in the grocery store and I was like, I'm going to be that mom. It didn't last very long. But I can remember growing up, like, who's your mom? What's wrong with
raising you?
Why is your mom such a loser? Because it's like a healthy.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's just another type of candy. Except for no one likes to eat them.
Yeah. That's what it was considered, was like a healthy...
Right, of course. And then there was the craisin phenomenon.
Oh, you still see a craisin in a salad.
You find them in the salads. Yeah. And you're kind of just chewing them up.
Don't need it.
They don't add anything
Don't put
good.
a craisin. Don't put a... I'm going to go back on that. I've had a kale salad with a craisin, and it helps. If the lettuce is more bitter...
Oh, to add a little bit of sweetness or a little extra something. Yeah,
I can't fully turn against fruit, but I would say I'm 90% against fruit in a salad. It's like, just make a good salad.
Yeah,
don't
just
put fruit in
pick
it.
the right vegetables, please.
Thank you. And make a good dressing.
Throw a little cheese in there. Maybe a nut.
I'm not going to do it at home ever. I always
make a salad?
I always try to make a salad and it's a bust. It's just terrible. I admire anyone who can make a true, really good salad.
Yeah, it's interesting because it seems like it should be easier. Mm-hmm. And then you try, and I think making a good salad requires you to be able to go all the way.
Yes.
And when you're making something at home, you're not interested in going all the way. You're not buying all of the vegetables or chopping them up in the way you should.
You're not.
Then you end up kind of with like the baby spinach and
you can't
some
go all
slivered
the way.
Almonds or something.
Exactly. And then
Boring.
you're like, wow, I got slivered almonds.
This trail mix to me, it always reminds me that I'm shocked, especially now when all these companies are doing a billion different flavors all the time with their products, why M&M's hasn't done a salted M&M. Just have a bag of M&M's and they're coated in salt.
Okay.
Because an M&M out of a trail mix thing?
I mean, I like your ingenuity. You seem like if you were the boss there, you'd be like, make it happen by the end of the day. And they're like, our hard shell that we've been making since 1900, you want us to just add salt to that sticks. You want us to break the entire recipe of M&Ms. Any M&M that they've invented always has the same shell. What would it... Okay,
they hose them down and then throw salt on them.
Wow.
See,
hose them down and get some salt on it by the end of the day.
Somebody get a garden hose in the factory. That's all it would take. And like a bag of salt, somebody kind of just shakes.
I feel angry at you right now. I'm not going to lie. I got a little bit angry.
You're mad because I thought of it first. And now I'm going to be working at Mars M&M or whatever it's called. M&M Mars.
With a bunch of melting, salty colors all over your hand, stuck together. And we'll call them M&M clusters.
Okay, so this is us working as a team.
This is us working
and now
as a
I'm bringing
team.
you on.
Maybe we'll use a raisin as part of the glue.
Oh, interesting. Now we're going backwards.
We're going backwards.
That is interesting. I wonder if that's ever come up at the company of trying to make a raisin M&M.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
An M&M with a hidden raisin inside.
I am interested in a shape of a what do you call that? With like a cell with all the orbits.
Oh, like
cell.
An atom?
Yes, thank you, an atom. Because I'm also simultaneously thinking of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original, where he's got that. Oh, God, like kind of a shape. That'd be a fun thing for a candy to have offshoots.
Yes, have like a chocolate center with a little M&M stuck on the outside.
I think we're onto something now.
And then a pure raisin center.
That you never want to get to the center. I wish I didn't get to that center.
That's when you have to stop.
Yeah,
I do like a raisinette. Do you like a raisinette?
You can't argue with a raisinette.
I mean, I'll never pick a raisinette.
Thank you. Exactly. I'm right there with you.
But if I'm in a movie theater and a friend has them and they shake it into my hand, I'll eat one.
Yeah, they're fun.
It's probably the best version of a raisin.
It is. Cover it in damn chocolate.
And then you never see a raisin in a salad, although you see craisins. So I think that that's a real clear, there's something going on.
There's something happening with the raisin.
If someone gave me a raisin in a lettuce salad.
The raisin needs some antidepressants because there's something
so
going
sad.
on with the raisin.
It has a mood disorder.
You know, the poor raisin.
It's
not really going to change. We know it's
maligned.
not.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do. It's got to be a frustrating business to be in.
The yogurt raisin.
Oh,
terrible.
Awful.
I'd rather get a yogurt pretzel.
Yogurt pretzel, there we go, which is essentially
Salts.
now just a chocolate pretzel. Why am I not eating a chocolate pretzel?
Yes.
But you can convince yourself.
What about those dark chocolate ones from Trader Joe's? Dark chocolate pretzels?
Oh, I have a bag in my cupboard right now.
Ooh, those
delicious.
So good.
I don't buy them very often because
you can't.
It's
you
an
go through
irresistible
the whole,
thing
yes,
to
it's
eat.
Irresistible.
One of the best things you can eat is a chocolate pretzel.
Yes.
And it's the right, it's not too sweet. It's really a perfect snack.
Because it's a dark chocolate.
Right, exactly.
That's so nice.
That's the trick. Should I get back in here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are so many things in
I know. It started ramping up towards the end.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, so that's the tape that I went into the liquor store for, which they did have. But I was sitting in my car with 8 minutes to get in here. Try to open the tab, and good luck. Enjoy that gift. Because you won't be able to actually open the tape, as I wasn't, to finish wrapping the gift, which I would have wrapped. Because I love a wrapping with tape. Go ahead and try to open that tape.
Open this?
Even though there's a tab with arrows on it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's me in my car.
This is a prank tape. It's
and
a
I
gag.
said, I'm done with you. This is now part of the gift.
It's literally unopenable. We'll say it's a basic product. This is a basic tape.
And
I've
you
never
see
heard
how
of-
I ripped the
or
top
basic.
off to try to get closer, to try to get my hands in there.
Looks like an animal got to this.
Yeah.
It's ripped to
I
pieces.
have a aversion against packaging.
I've never seen the
Even
basic.
though I enjoy wrapping. The basic brand.
Let's see here.
I wonder if your socks are also that brand.
It's like Acme or something. Let's see here. No, this is impossible.
See, I've given you
and
the
then you
gift
have that
of knowing
metal
exactly
thing.
how I
It's
felt.
like cutting at your fingers while you're
Yes.
trying to get to it.
Yes.
Oh, I would love to open this in front of you, though, just to show you up.
I know you. I can feel it. I already know that's what you're doing. And then you'd go, "Oh, see, I got it." But really, what you meant is, "See, I got it, and you didn't." That's what you mean.
But it's unopenable. It's a worthless
now
piece
we're
of...
back on the same team of not being able to open it, and you gave it more of a chance than I did.
Wow. This is... I cannot... imagine if you actually
Infuriating.
needed this.
Yeah,
The basic brand is BAZIC.
they went out of their way to
They have the
illuminate
arrows.
the tab,
And it's...
but they didn't think to actually make it a tab.
Wow, this is... And I
That's
will
the
admit...
thing. They made a tab that's not a real tab.
No, this thing with the arrows is meaningless. That doesn't indicate anything.
Rude.
I wonder if you were to, dare I pull it completely open?
Well, sure,
that
but
feels
then
like
we're
it's-
gonna. Oh,
And then you miss the
and
metal
then you miss
thing.
the metal.
I wonder if you can take this on an airplane. The little edges there. TSA
Oh, that's my
should be looking out
unopenable
for the
tape that I carry
Scotch
around
tape.
for good luck.
Okay, I'm giving up. I mean, I will say I'm usually not good at opening anything.
Yeah,
like a jar.
Now I
or-
want to give it another
give
try.
it a try.
There's no way. You've just given it so many tries.
And you actually have nails, so you should
You
be able
would
to
think.
get some traction there.
I can feel the edge, but it just is so.
It's barely there. It's a hint.
It's barely there.
Hint of an edge.
I've got eyeliner all over my fingers from crying.
You're a mess.
From crying
Absolute
about
disaster.
that book. Oh, God, I can see it. I can see the edge.
Wouldn't that be satisfying to get that open?
Yeah, it would. Maybe that's the purpose of this, is to just let you not be satisfied and live in that place of zen.
And I'll say that it looks like the liquor store has put a price tag over a price tag. So I wonder if that used to be more, and they were like, no one's going to be able to open this. Cut the price in half.
Wow. You can feel the ridge. Yeah, that would be so great.
It's
just to get
worthless as a product. Why did they even sell this? Why did they manufacture
Also,
it?
the ridge that I'm picking, oh my gosh, is in the opposite direction
of the how it's supposed to go.
It would be tape up if I even got it open. Oh, wait, there's a ridge on both sides. Never mind.
Oh, so then it's a double ridge? So then does that piece just fall off and then the tape is completely inaccessible? What a piece of garbage.
We'll never know. This truly is a piece of garbage. Ooh, I'm going to try on the edge of the circle. Did we try that yet? Okay.
So you're trying to just dig into the tape entirely.
Infuriated.
Wow, it's a useless product, but almost a collector's item then. Mm-hmm. It's something you can put on a mantle.
That's right.
So
the tape that can never open. It's a point of reflection, like a little sand, those meditation things.
Or it's like a stress ball or something. You could have this in a meeting at a company. You could just picking at it, trying to get it open all day, just stressing out. So walk me through this gift buying process. You got the trail mix.
Okay, the trail mix, I almost brought in the bag of a variety of snacks that was in my car just to out myself because I was like, this is great. I prefer to eat like this. It's probably, I had also from the Trader Joe's the cheese and crackers, the mini cheese and crackers.
Oh, I've never had this.
Ooh, talk about you want to go through the box as you start eating it. You want to get through the whole box. The dried mango.
Oh, sure, of course.
Oh, I had a lot of Trader Joe's items, and then the pecans with the sweet and salty.
Oh, I love those.
Oh boy!
Or the sesame cashews. Have you had those?
Yes, not as often.
Oh, phenomenal.
I'll revisit those.
You hate
Thank
them.
you for reminding me. I don't. I love a cashew.
Okay.
And I think I'm so partial towards the pecan that I've forgotten about the cashews.
Oh, interesting. I've got to get more
I will
into the
revisit.
pecans. Okay.
So those are my three. And then I also had a beef jerky, which I did not.
I did notice the beef jerky in your bag.
I did not get to that.
It's a brand name.
This was all my breakfast, and those were all the items because I could mix and match on the way here.
Interesting. You've got a little protein.
And then I said I'm going to give this as a gift because I can't eat any more of that. It's too big of a bag for one person.
And so
to keep eating.
Then you went to the liquor store.
Oh, I went to the liquor store because I thought I'd love to wrap these, and I have a few minutes. Let me see if they have tape, and they did, and here we are. Mm-hmm. And there still is more in the bag.
There's more in the bag.
These are not even. I think what you're getting
there's a final item here.
This was the original actual gift. It's a real gift.
This is an actual thing that I actually need to explain to me.
Yeah.
What is this? It seems like a mustache keychain is what my initial guess would be.
Close.
What is? It's like a furry little.
First of all, it's made out of real sealskin.
What?
Yeah. Second of all, you might want to start writing in your notebook about this.
Yes,
it's from Iqaluit, Nunavut, which is in the Canadian Arctic.
Okay.
You take a plane to Toronto. You take another plane to Ottawa. You get on an airline called Canadian North, and you, from Ottawa, go another 3 hours north. This is from just outside the Arctic Circle.
What?
Yeah.
When were you there?
I was there filming a TV show. See, this is real.
Okay.
Coming in, bringing the juice. Like, that bitch talked about trail mix for
eating beef jerky in the car.
for 40 minutes. Now I'm telling you about a TV show that I'm on that we filmed.
How long were you up there for?
For 3 months.
Oh my God.
It's a show called North of North, which has started to air in Canada, and it's airing on Netflix, but it's coming out. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see I've post about it and I've started to post about it because it's airing in Canada, and I will be doing more. It'll be on Netflix in the spring. They haven't given us a date. But really fantastic show. I'm really proud of it. I play the white lady on the show.
Good for you.
And it's about a Inuit woman who is trying to break out of her shell because she's married to the best seal hunter in the town. Everybody knows everybody, and she's trying to become more
her own
herself.
thing.
Yes.
Right. And
I'm like the Karen gatekeeper who's, sort of like, you don't know, am I a terrible person? Am I a helper? Do we need each other? Am I a gatekeeper? Am I lifting her up? Am I, heartfelt but ignorant? It's a really cool part because it's not a straight up bitchy Karen. It's a
right,
Karen
it's a
with
nuanced
depth. And
it's a Karen we all know and love.
Thank you. And my character is married to an Inuit man, so I've lived in their culture for over 20 years or whatever. But yeah, it was a really cool show.
And what was it like living up there?
It's wild.
Is it just freezing cold all the time?
It's freezing cold all the time. I arrived in March and it was 20 below, and by the beginning of June when I left, it was 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh my God.
And that's warm when it's 32,
Wow.
33.
And are you seeing like crazy wildlife? Any sort of polar bear or any situation like this?
What they say is, polar bear hasn't walked in town since 1962 or whatever.
Oh,
so
interesting.
It
Doesn't
could
feel welcome
happen, but
there.
it's not going to.
Right.
And also the way the landscape has sort of, now I can't remember if, I think it's a combo of things because as soon as you land, you see seal hunters. There's a road where we were staying and there's a series of like inlets. So where we're staying is more flat, and the city was developed by the military. And I can't remember why the polar bears were closer years ago, and now maybe just the landscape has shifted, so you have to go out a little further to do your ice fishing and your seal hunting.
Okay, sure.
And it's funny, now I don't know, because I've certainly met a lot of people that then go to the territories even outside of where we were. So where we were, it was like there's the town and then there's just a vast
Nothingness.
landscape. Yes.
Right.
And so a lot of people we met were like, oh, I'm from this territory. That's even further. And I kind of forgot how their frequency of if they're seeing polar bears on the reg.
Interesting.
And I got to do a dog sled ride.
I was curious about this. How was that experience?
Incredible.
How fast are you going when these dogs are pulling you?
It's very deceiving because you're sitting there and it doesn't look like it's fast, and then they tell you, hey, hop off the back, and you try to run and it's like, it's really hard and you feel like you're going to fall on your face.
Oh my God.
Then you have to run and catch up and jump back on the sled. Yeah, they're hauling.
And how many dogs are pulling you at once?
I think 8 or so.
Eight. Interesting. Yeah. Was it frightening? Do you feel in control?
Of the dogs?
Like,
Oh,
I assume you were a passenger, or were you the driver?
Yeah. No, not the driver. No.
What do they call that? The
musher?
Musher?
Ours was led by a dad and then his daughter. I think there was one other person helping. So you arrive, you pull up, and you can see them far away. So you've parked, and then you walk down, you trek down. I mean, there's no trees, so it's all ice. So you walk down a little embankment, and then you get down, and all the dogs, there was 2 teams, and they're just chilling, sitting outside. They never go inside. These huskies are wild animals, but yet you are allowed to go up and touch them, just like they're like dogs, but like
very close to their ancestors.
Yeah, and they're kind of wild. So you're like,
this is
like
fun.
they're not scary, but they're a little bit like if you had a wild dog that was just running into you,
right? You don't want to be holding a hot dog,
and it was kind of stinky, you know. Although it was cold, so or like kind of like a little dirty, you know.
Right.
Maybe they
hasn't been bathed.
Maybe they have squiggled around in some seal guts or something. Who knows?
Covered in blood.
Who knows? No, they were clean. I don't know why I'm going down that road. They're outdoor dogs.
Yeah,
they're very clean and well kept by their owners, and that's their job. And we had the daughter taking us, so we both had sleds. I mean, it's a total tourist thing, but this is their real team of dogs that has been carried down through tradition. So they do use the dogs to go out on the land for whatever hunting or whatever they're doing. Run errands, yeah. So yeah, we're passengers, and then the daughter's in front of us, and it's me and one other person. That's how big the little sled is. And then there's a kind of a ledge, and it's just, built by a ledge on the back you can stand. And then a person goes in front of us on a snowmobile just to, because it's...
Sure. Just to show off.
Just to show off and be in communication with the other...
Make sure there aren't any dangers.
Oh, no, I know what it is. Then you ride the snowmobile back, so you switch.
Oh, interesting.
That's how big our group was. So depending on your group...
You couldn't have two turns.
Yeah. And then you get the sled on the way back. But it's an all day...
Where do you go?
Just further out into the Arctic. That's the thing.
Wow.
That's the thing that was so amazing, because your eyes, it's such a vast nothingness.
It just feels like you're in a void, I imagine.
Yeah. a really beautiful void.
Wow.
I loved it.
And did you have to like bundle up completely?
Yeah. What are you, crazy?
You weren't in a tank top?
It ended up being fine, but going into it, this was probably the most worried about bundling up I was the whole trip.
I'm
just
sure.
Because it's like, then you get out there, and what if I'm a big baby and I'm like, I'm getting frostbite, and you can't like.
There's nothing you could do.
Yeah, every other place I was, there was some type of escape, and you definitely are out in the elements. But you know, I knew how to do it by that time. You have a certain amount of socks.
Do they bring a picnic? What are you eating out there? Nothing.
You'd bring your own snacks.
Did you bring a trail mix? What did you bring?
Yeah, I think we had a bar and a little bit of water, but that's on you. And I like that's where your brain went.
Of course.
Yes.
I'm wondering what was happening in the lunch situation. But then you come back at night?
No, I was exaggerating. It was probably
catching you in a lot of lies.
No, one lie. And I wasn't even lying. All day for going straight out into the Arctic. Okay, it wasn't
God
8
only
hours.
knows if you were even in this place. The story is falling apart as we speak.
It may have been 4 hours.
4 hours.
3 or 4
That's a long
hours.
time to be.
It is.
Out in the middle of nothingness.
It really is.
Wow. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I'm strong enough. I appreciate that.
And you will. Look in that notebook. There's a ticket. This trail mix is for you out on the sled. That tape is what's going to keep you on the sled.
I can use this as a weapon.
Yeah.
Defend myself out.
That keychain is for the keys
keep
to
me
your
warm.
ski-doo and keep you warm.
The ski-doo.
Yeah, you're going to get on your hog and take your ski-doo out on the trail and get yourself some seal to feed the whole family. And by the way, it's instantly normal when you land, the seal hunting.
Oh, it's just
if I try to tell people, but I was in such a immersed in the culture that when I came back, I kind of wanted to share this profound thing. And a lot of people are just like, they're interested, and then they're like, no.
Yeah, it's hard to like
40 seconds in, yeah.
Right.
And if you say something like seal hunting in LA, if you even say that phrase,
it's a tough thing to hear out loud.
Yeah, you don't want to say that out loud.
Right.
But when you're there, you just immediately are like, oh, this is what
part
they've
of the
done
local culture
for
right.
centuries, and this is how they sustain and will feed a family.
Right.
With every part of the seal.
It's not a Cruella de Vil situation.
No.
That's what you're going to start.
Exactly.
But now I do own a little bit of.
You're going to, yes.
Seals. What is a pelt seal?
Sure.
Fur.
Oh, and the shape of that is, an ulu, and so the top, it's just the design, but the real thing is a tool that's like a knife for everything.
Oh,
so
like you would hold like this?
Yeah, and it's a very sharp blade,
knuckles.
and so they'll have their frozen caribou is like their sushi.
Oh.
So you get the carcass, and you're cutting little slivers off of that and dipping it in soy sauce.
Did you eat that?
I sure did.
How was it?
It was not bad.
Okay.
It definitely has like a bit of an aftertaste, which I could see, not unlike sushi. Once you get used to the taste, you start to crave it.
Right.
I did not get to that point with it.
Sure. That makes sense.
And then there was one day, because we had quite a few cast and crew, well, all the crew members, most of the crew members that are from there or from a different territory. And one of the ladies, on the WhatsApp, she said, well, I have walrus if you want to. And I was like, I can't. Whatever was going on with me that day, I was just like, I'm not ready. And then I never got the chance to do that again. But.
Right. I don't entirely blame you. That's the thing you have to, I think, prepare for mentally.
I wasn't prepared.
Yeah,
I should have been, because I had been there for a while. But
sure, but maybe you just weren't in the mood.
I wasn't up for it that day.
Sometimes you're not in the mood for a raisin.
I'm in my room with my trail mix.
Walrus, wow. Okay, well, I'm thrilled to have this. I feel like I'm going to get red paint thrown on me. PETA's coming for me.
Don't tell anybody what it is. It's our secret.
It's our little secret. This will all be edited out, the last half hour of the podcast.
If somebody is a fan of the podcast and they want to find you and throw red paint on you.
Good for them.
Yeah, then that's
somebody with a real... They've got something going on. Yeah, passion. Hobby. It's ultimately a hobby.
I want to believe that people that have heard about that on this podcast right now will respect.
I think so, absolutely.
And then for the ones that don't, you just lie and say, oh, it's not real seal skin. Are you crazy?
Who do you think I am?
Who are you? And who do you think I am? And how dare you? You pull one of those. Just right back at you, you know? I'm in a cone of my own energy.
Keep that
Who
out.
Are you?
Yes.
It's none
this
of your
is a
business.
Perfect opportunity to alienate people in my life.
Or go the opposite way and make them accept that it's
exactly. Kind of force them into my belief system. Mm-hmm.
Which, by way of me having visited the Arctic, respect.
Wow. Well, is there anything left we should say about this? It's so soft.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's unbelievably soft.
Well, there's a lot left on the table, but I feel we've said enough.
We've said enough? We should play a game then.
Okay.
We're going to play a game called Gift or a Curse. I need a number between 1 and 10 from you.
To say out loud?
Yes.
You're not going to pull my card or anything.
This becomes a
all right,
magic
I pick
show.
number 5.
Okay, I have to use that number to do some light calculating to get our game pieces.
Okay.
So right now you can promote, recommend, do whatever you want. I'll be right back.
Hey, everybody. My name's Mary Lynn Rajskub. I'd like to promote Kroger Trail Mix. Try it out. It's pretty cool. It's got M&Ms, almonds, cashews. I think we've already covered that. Don't really need to plug that. But please find me on social media. If you follow me on TikTok, maybe TikTok will be saved. Think about it like that. Maybe they'll say, oh, Mary Lynn's just starting to get followers. We're going to reverse the ruling and we're going to keep TikTok. We're not afraid of the Chinese. They're our friends.
TikTok, by the time this is released, I guess will be done.
Yeah, it sure will.
Interesting.
I know. As I was saying that, I realized, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong in...
like
soon.
2 days from now or something. Unless some horrible person here buys it.
That very well could happen.
Yeah.
What a world that we live in. We really don't know. Like, that could happen.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I don't even understand how.
How they buy it, or...
No, how is this a thing with the Supreme Court? Aren't there multiple other ways that we're getting disinformation and we're getting hacked
of course.
from other countries?
Facebook, Instagram,
well,
Twitter.
that's our own. We're doing it to ourselves.
Well, but all of these countries are also
vulnerable.
on them.
So how is it this big stand against TikTok? It's like none of this is regulated, and we're getting by bots all the time. So how is this? It seems like this is where we lose. We're humans going, we're going to pass a law on this. It's like, it's done.
It's not going to protect
anybody.
We're
already, half of our brains are gone.
Yes.
Half of everything I watch is built by Russia.
Right.
Half of the emotional tie I have to anything I see online. Did you see on Instagram, they're like, we're going to start, this was a couple weeks ago, putting AI users.
Oh, insane.
So now,
and some of them were like immediately like racist caricatures of people.
Yeah. For things that you like, that'll make you feel good. What?
Oh, that's dark.
It's so dark. So that's what it's going to be.
Unnecessary. It's like,
so unnecessary.
It simply doesn't solve any problem.
No, it sure doesn't.
No one was hoping to have a computer friend.
No.
One that's just like based on
Hey, it's better for live comedy, am I right? Come see me. Tulsa
You do a full hour on
Detroit
AI
House
friends.
of Comedy. Somewhere else, I can't remember. Got a full roster.
Okay, this is how we play gift or a curse. I'm going to name 3 things, and then you tell me if they are a gift or a curse and why.
Excuse me.
And then I'll tell you if you're right or wrong, because there are correct answers. You can lose. You can also win. You can also be in between and be kind of just feel bad for the rest of the day. So
Wow.
be careful.
You're urging me to make a strong choice
Yeah, just be
and
careful.
not mess up the name. Okay. Oh, be
Be
careful. A
careful.
warning. Okay.
Does that feel pretty clear to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, why
There have been a lot of
Why-
red flags, Marilyn.
with me?
There have been a lot of red flags. Well, we've been coming up to this game, and I thought she might not get it.
You're like, she couldn't get through world literature or a reading comprehension test.
We
She
might see
can't
a full
remember,
collapse.
The author of the book she's reading right now.
I may
I
kill
better
her.
really spell out the rules.
We'll watch
to
her
this.
die. Okay. This first one is from a listener named Emily. The suggestion is gift or a curse. You're taking a photo of your family when a stranger offers to take the photo for you so you can be in the picture too.
Curse.
Why?
Fuck you. Don't micromanage. Oh, you think I want to be in the picture? I'm against that. I'm against the group picture in general. Just leave me alone.
Correct. Curse. Pervert alert. What's this? Stay out of our family's business,
Yes.
you little creep.
I didn't go quite so far as pervert, but yes.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
We don't know you. Also, you might be bad at taking pictures, and then we're
Yes.
stuck with your bad photo.
Yes.
There's no element of this that we can trust.
No.
They might take the phone.
Run. How fast can you run?
Yes, exactly.
My phone.
I don't want you anywhere near me or my family.
That'd be kind of cool if somebody did it and then just threw it over the bridge. Now you have a memory of your phone in the Thames.
That's I support that.
That'd be great.
I really support.
Oh, how great would that be?
You would talk about that for the rest of your life.
And you know what? I wouldn't even press charges because
No
it'd
way.
be too much work. I'd be like, give me your ID. Let me call the police. Like what? It'd be like pissed. And then all your rage. Yeah, and you would come together as a family. You think a photo's going to make you come together?
No, this is a common enemy
Yes.
who has shocked you,
Thank
and
you.
thrown away your device
Thank you.
and probably helped you.
That'd be great. More people
Should
just
be
take
throwing
the
phones in rivers
We need this.
straight into the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Okay, well, you got one right so far. Very good. Number 2, this is from a listener named Mark. Gift or a curse, unpacking boxes you forgot about for a year after you moved.
Oh, curse.
Why?
Throw it away. You forgot about it. It's done. Goodbye. Curse.
Wrong.
No. You're going to open it and get sentimental? Oh, here's the tape I could never open. Here's the trail mix. Here's the sealskin keychain.
It's a gift.
No, these are great gifts. Let's not.
This is an excellent.
every gift I gave you is
Everything
a
you
banger.
gave me is. I will be selling
Top
immediately. I'll
notch.
be getting on Craigslist and
No,
listing.
you
and
love all these things.
eBaying these things. Half bag of trail mix.
No, I put my heart in this gift, and you know it.
No, yeah, absolutely. And you went above and beyond. You even tried to open the tape. But the
And
unpacking.
if all else fails, we both have a notebook to
Yes.
reflect. See,
Reflect.
together.
Remember. But you did lose this point. It's a gift to unpack a box you forgot about a year after
Okay.
you moved. It might,
see where
suddenly your life is being shifted in all new ways. Maybe it's dragging you back into the past. What an
Let's not do that.
experience.
Let's
It's like
not do
opening a
that.
treasure chest.
You're coming to my side. See, you can't even say your
No,
own
you're
thing.
not getting
you
the
know
point
that
here.
You know that's not good. As you're saying it, you're like, go back into the past. Boo. When has
You're
that
finding
ever
that
helped
old
anyone?
jacket you lost, and you're thinking, I look great in
You're like,
this.
let me get her off the. I did go through a box of photos.
Okay, now you're coming to my side.
I am. I don't know if it was worth it. Maybe for my child, but.
Yeah, maybe.
And then there was a bunch of pictures from the 90s. Super nostalgic, but also
There we
why?
go.
But why?
Because you got to
Didn't
have that
help
on
me.
occasion. Take a little taste of nostalgia.
You need to have it on occasion. All right,
Yeah.
I'm back on your side.
Okay, number 3.
You know that's mostly a curse, though.
You're not getting me. You will not get me. How
Wow,
dare you?
that's a real hard line. That was unnecessary and hurtful.
Okay, number 3. This is from a listener named Rachel. Gift or a curse when a child actor is replaced in a TV show?
my investment level in that is low. You know, could go either way. I mean, were we saying the attachment to the child? That is. I'm gonna go curse. I feel like I'm gonna go curse. I feel like you're gonna go the opposite way.
You just have kind of no feeling about it.
No, I'm gonna say curse because that if they're replacing that actor, that means they effed up in the first place, and that the show is already tanking. And they think firing a child is going to make it better. No, sir. No, you don't do that. Or the kid has changed their look or aged out. You're done. Write be a better writer. Make the child get lost and never come back. That's better. And I'm correct.
Wrong.
Sorry,
it's
no.
a gift. I love when the child gets replaced. They should be replacing the child every scene like they do with dogs. I think that the child should just, you should be so disoriented by this casting.
I'm back.
They should have
I'm
a line of children out of the studio. Bring the next one in.
You're right. I'm wrong.
And I'll also say...
That's very funny.
Mad Men. Classic show. They replaced the Bobby. Don Draper's son got replaced so many times.
That's right.
It was always a little something to talk about.
I didn't even remember that. That's how much you're correct.
The original one was the best.
Down with children. They all look the same. They're interchangeable.
They're all just little clones, little annoying clones. You can throw them in there. I say replace them as often as possible, even with camera changes, let's say. Just a new child at all times.
A little bit.
Gift. You got 1 out of 3.
What? No, I got 2 out of 3. You're wrong about that.
You got 1 out of 3. You can't. No.
You're incorrect, and you know it in your heart. Moving on. You know it in your heart.
Okay. Well, Annalise, do you have your thing?
I do.
Okay, Annalise this is Annalise does one round of this.
Huh?
This is
I do. Like your voice.
Annalise has a great voice. Annalise is going to present one that neither of us is going to do, and we're going to both try, and then they're going to give us the correct answer. So what are we talking about here, Annalise?
Well, earlier, Bridger, you mentioned that you were in need of a shower. So this is about when you shower. So gift or a curse, showering at night.
I'll speak to this. I think it's a gift. I think showering at night is so wonderful. It feels great. After a long, disgusting day, to be in the shower, cleaning yourself off, and then you're relaxed. It's not like the morning shower where you have to end it quickly. You can hop in there, and it's more of a, we're just relaxing. We're not going back to work. We're getting into bed and keeping our sheets clean.
Yeah.
I don't do it that often, though. It's more of a little treat.
Same. It's a gift, and I don't do it often either.
But
it's
I should probably do it more often.
Should we do it tonight?
Yeah.
And then when we get in bed, write in our notebook.
Oh, that's great. But I think there are people who will only shower at night. But I have to do both. I can't start a day without showering. So then am I being wasteful if I'm doing double showers?
I've started a day without showering.
Never in my life.
Are you someone who will get up and get ready no matter what?
Almost always.
Make your bed and get dressed?
Yes. Even like during early COVID, I was like, I would get up.
That's really smart. I aspire to be you, and I would like to invite myself back on the podcast. And at some point, and when you invite me back, you say, have you started getting dressed in something other than sweatpants?
That'll be a life check-in.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you in the middle of another episode.
Or am I excommunicated? Just tell me. I don't even care.
Absolutely banished.
And then I'll do that to cover up. I don't even care.
No, it's very rare that I'm in there are days, every once in a while, I'm in a robe until 11:30. But
okay,
thank you for
saying that.
For the most part, I'm like, I feel just better and ready to go, even despite the fact that I rarely have anything to do ever.
And what pant are you putting on? Like a jean?
A jean.
Okay.
I will say on the other side of the day, though, I used to wear jeans up until I went to bed. I would wear my full day's outfit until I was done watching TV and everything. Then I would switch into pajamas.
Whoa.
And I've only in the last couple of years allowed myself to be like, okay, I'm not going out. It's time. Like we're at the part of the day where I'm in the house.
Yes.
Put on something more comfortable. Something slightly more relaxing.
Okay.
I don't know why I had to be ready to go until the very last minute of my day.
That sounds healthy. You're watching TV in a pair of like dark blue jeans.
In a tuxedo.
Secret Lives of Mormon.
Oh my God. I mean, this podcast could go for another 2 hours if you bring up that subject.
Don't start. I heard you talking about it. And I dipped in there too. I started watching it.
What a show. Did you finish it?
No.
It's not. I mean, it's not a well-produced show.
No, but now I feel like I will get back in there.
It's coming back for another season.
I didn't get very far, but when it starts, there's that lady who I've already forgotten all their names. The one who got pregnant.
Oh,
by
yeah.
at the very, very beginning.
Oh, right. Taylor, I think.
Yes, Taylor.
Yes. Yeah. We'll see how that show goes.
How far in did she have her baby? And
I can barely remember anything. I remember they go to the roller skating center I went to in middle school.
That's
I'm from
right.
Salt Lake,
okay.
yeah. So that was part of the problem for me. I was like, while watching, I was like, none of this seems that exotic or interesting to me because I know this personality, this sort of boring person. But then I kind of got caught up in it.
Yes.
And we'll probably continue to watch it until it's over.
Yes.
For whatever reason. Annalise, what's the verdict as far as gift or a curse?
Of course, it's a gift. Oh. Of course, it's a gift. And
Are we back together?
I think this has really brought us all back together.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you both.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a wonder. Nobody can argue against a shower at night, and if they do, they're disgusting.
Yes.
Okay, this is the final segment of the podcast. People write into isaidnogifts@gmail.com begging for answers. Will you help me answer a question?
Yes.
Okay. This says, hello, Bridger, Annalise, and audacious guest. Okay, that's interesting.
Wow. We're not back. We were back together, and that viewer
was a real backslide.
Pushed me away.
This listener's come between all of us.
I have to. I have to take
Pick a team. Our bakery recently received some national recognition. Oh, okay, I know who this is. I will say this is actually a bakery in Maine called The Place Bakery, who has now become a listener of the podcast, and it is a very good bakery. But now let's see what happens.
I want to go there. Say no more.
Recently,
I'm on a plane.
Received some national recognition. They were in the New York Times. Congratulations.
Nice. Congratulations.
And people will not stop talking about it. Okay, now I'm starting to feel like they're trying to force me into an advertisement.
Sure does feel like that.
Validation for our hard work feels great, but we're a very small operation of 2 humans, and it's become extremely overwhelming.
Shark Tank.
National press for a tiny food business is the ultimate gift or a curse. What are some responses I can use to end the bakery talk and move on?
What?
Some for ending the conversation entirely, and some for
live in Maine.
Switching subjects would be great. Yours truly, a baker having frequent panic attacks, Chelsea. Well, I don't know if talking about this is going to help.
I know.
We're bringing
Do you know
more
the
recognition.
publicity and recognition you're getting right now?
This is going to destroy the
I
bakery.
just got you product placement on every show I work on from here.
I know, this is
every
ridiculous.
comedy set I do,
You're going to bring up The Place Bakery.
The Place Bakery.
What do we do? I mean, my immediate what my brain goes to if you want people to stop talking about your bakery is get shut down by the health department.
Heyo.
Then no one's going to be talking about your little operation. I mean, maybe for another week where they're like, yeah, the place was overrun by rats.
A little too much salt, yeah.
But how else do you get people to stop talking about your bakery? I would start making less good things.
Yeah.
Worse customer service.
Yep.
Make the hours erratic where no one can really.
Fun.
They show up and it's closed, and they start being like,
just show up. Don't put your dark blue jeans on in the morning.
And if it's in the moment, someone won't stop talking about your bakery. Maybe bring up the death in the family.
Mm-hmm. Or associate that with the delicious bite they're about to eat.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Bring in some sort of
the death cake, death muffin,
personal tragedy that will end a conversation pretty quickly.
Yep.
Comment on their body. That'll get somebody to stop talking to you.
Put the calories as they're eating it. Make sure they know how many calories are in it.
Yeah, I feel like Chelsea has not put in the work here to stop these conversations on her own. Rather, she turns to me.
Yeah, it's a bit of a humble brag.
Oh, it's an enormous. I mean, what she's done here is insidious.
Yes.
They've gotten free advertising.
Yeah.
They've brag.
It's called a guest. She didn't know who it was going to be. Audacious.
Yeah, so rude.
I mean, Chelsea.
The way she owes us for her continued success.
You better send some baked goods.
Chelsea,
All two of you get in that kitchen.
A full day's work.
I mean,
it's ultimately unfair and disgusting.
Is she saying we're very happy with the way things are?
It seems like,
that would be a gift because you got to learn that you don't want to be bigger.
Right. That is a gift. Yeah. Like we're good just in our little thing, making our beautiful pastries. This is all we'll ever need.
And if this is what success is, no, thank you. You know, did I have a big house one time when I made a lot of money on TV and then that had a lady in an urn in tile and gold fixtures and I said, ha ha ha. And then I bought the house and then the market crashed and I was no longer on TV. Did I learn from that? That I don't need a house? But am I glad I have the experience?
Of course.
So they got the experience of people wanting them and then they go,
let's make some croissants.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
Who needs a 6,000 square foot house? Not me. Mine is like a weird humble brag, but then sad. Then revealing of, oh no. You know what? That's how I learn, by doing. Okay? Sue me. Do you think when I'm threatened by the fires and I have no fire insurance, do you know how I got to the place of like, I guess it's all gone by having it be gone?
Everything.
Yes. No, I'm not afraid of it. So I don't know how that speaks to the bakery.
Well, what I think is these people need to have a little more gratitude.
Yeah.
So say
what
a little.
What are we doing here? Hire some more people.
Yes. Turn it into a massive franchise.
Yeah.
Where the quality goes down. And that'll get people to stop talking. Sell it to investment bankers.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the place
Why
bakery.
not? Don't be afraid of success.
Don't be afraid
our
of
biggest fear is not that we're smooth, but it's is the fear of that we're nice, that we're bigger than our wildest dreams.
Open the steampunk flower shop.
And let it fly.
And
the next thing you know, you'll be starring in you're going to be the next movie about your bakery.
People will be taking a picture in an AMC with your croissants or whatever, not knowing entirely what the movie's about.
Blake Lively is going to star.
Lawsuits are flying left and right.
Yes.
Things are being exposed. And
like gratitude, and it's very hard. I would think it's very hard to make a name. I know from watching Shark Tank in a food industry.
Oh, it's very hard.
So what's the prob?
Chelsea, don't write back in.
Don't write back in.
We don't want to ever hear from you again. Well, I think we answered the question.
But I do want to
perfectly.
try your stuff.
Yeah,
Chelsea, and I'm
Mary
really
Lynn
happy for you.
some nice
and
pastry.
Maine sounds lovely, and your bakery sounds
Gotta get
great.
to Maine.
I'd love to know what your specialty item is at the bakery. That's
Maine
driving
in the summertime.
everybody crazy.
Yeah. We answered the question
to Maine.
perfectly.
We got our
Got to
books.
write in our books. I've got my socks, my micro cruise socks, my keychain, my bag of snacks, and then my unusable tape.
Yes.
I'm set for life.
Yes.
What a gift.
I know.
I've had such a wonderful time with you.
I've had a wonderful time
Thank
with
you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Listener, the podcast is over. I know you didn't want or expect this to happen at any point, but you have to face reality. I'm not responsible for anything in your life. That's on you. Do what you need to do. I love you. Goodbye.